That's right. Come on in here. It's time for Church Guys Like Sports. Come on back in. I'm back. We going back to the old time way. I want all the Knick fans and the Knick haters. Come on in. Come on. Come on. We going back to the old time way. Walt Frazier, Willis Reed, Dave DeBusschere, Earl the Pearl Monroe, Patrick Ewing, Charles Oakley, John Starks, the old time way. Come on back to the old time way. When the Knicks used to rule the NBA. That's all right, Shondo. You can be the president of the Knick Haters Club. That's all right. Invite your friend. Don't you want to go back to the old time way of when the Knicks used to just run over the league? Don't you want to go back? You see, we're going back to the old time way. And I was here, I told you, I was just on for a little commercial earlier. We back here in full effect. And I got some big things coming up. I want y'all to tune in tomorrow. We're starting a new part of Church Guys Like Sports too. Some major networks are looking into this, and I'm excited. But they allowing me to be me. You see, you got to be who you are, and God will continue to open doors for you. You got to be who you are. All right. But listen, I told y'all before, the Knicks are here. And I know y'all saw they had a highlight play. The Nets was over there at the Barclays Center doing all this Harlem Globetrotter stuff. Listen, all that and one mixtape stuff don't work in the NBA playoffs. And I am telling y'all, how many of y'all Knick haters thought the Knicks, y'all said we wouldn't even make the playoffs. That's what they said. They said, no, the Knicks are at least 2-3 years away from making the playoffs. And we not just made the playoffs, but we are contenders. When you finish in the top 4 in your conference, you are a contender. We didn't just slip in the playoffs. We didn't just happen to fall our way and crawl our way into the playoffs. We're the number 4 seed. Now somebody say the Knicks ain't Mike Cohen. I'm calling names and I'm taking numbers. Mike Cohen says the Knicks will not get out the first round. Who else got some? Let's put some money on this thing here. Let's put some money on this. I bet you 5 communion cups that the Knicks won't. I bet you they're gonna win it in 5 games. Shondo, are y'all going past the first round? Yes, we are. Yes, we are. You think the Atlanta Hawks going to come into Madison Square Garden and beat us? So, Shandia Battle, Mike Cohen, and I'm taking names. And I'm putting it on God's desk. Because if the Knicks make it out of the first round, I'm going to pray that Mike Cohen and Shandia Battle have diarrhea for 2 straight days. How about that? I'm taking names. I'm not going to sit here and let y'all just keep talking about my team like this. Y'all ain't going to just keep on running my team through the dirt and just run your mouth on my team. Diarrhea shall be your portion. Now, how about that? Because they said the Knicks wasn't going to make the playoff. Now we make the playoff. Now they saying, my brother Bernie, they saying now we ain't going to get out the first round. Everything y'all say we ain't going to do, we do. Chip And I thank God for Chip. Chip he's really a Brooklynite by way of Connecticut and down in Atlanta. But I know Atlanta got more New York fans. Chip is down there in Atlanta. And when the Knicks go to play the Hawks, I want you, Chip, to go to the game and stand outside with a New York Knicks flag. Just like this. I want you to stand out there, Chip. I know you in Atlanta now, but don't let Atlanta take the New York out of you. Don't let it take the upper East Coast out of you. Don't let it take the Connecticut out of you. You're still a New York Knicks fan. And I want you to go there, cry loud and spare not. All right, Mike Cohen, diarrhea will be your portion. If the Knicks win and I'm telling you, they're going to win. They're going to win it in 5 games. 4-1. I'll give Atlanta 1 game. And I know they got Trae Young, but Trae Young is light-skinned. And them light-skinned boys don't like to get hit. And the difference between Trae Young and Steph Curry's light-skinned too. He's the most dangerous light-skinned man you ever want to see. But Steph Curry got nappy hair. That's a difference. Trae Young he's light skinned with curly hair. He's like that, what's that boy from New Jack City? What was his name? Sit your $5 butt down before I make change. What was that man's name? He's a singer. It was the pretty boy with the curly hair. Y'all know what I'm talking about. What's his name? Williams? What's the boy name from New Jack City? And Wesley Snipes stabbed him in the hand. That's who Trae Young is. You ain't gonna be no pretty boy and come to the New York Garden, Madison Square Garden, like you gonna run something. I'll be sure all these little pretty Williams. No, this guy's name Christopher Williams. Him. I'll be sure and Christopher Williams, all them curly haired light skinned boys, them pretty boys. The NBA is not a league for pretty boys. The NBA is not scared of pretty boys. And Trae Young, you can come in here trying to shoot all that funny stuff, all them 3-pointers. We're gonna knock you on your behind. Your Christopher Williams looking self. I like Christopher Williams, but these light skinned folks, they ain't got no backbone. Steph Curry, the only one, but he's different. At least he got nappy hair. Trae Young coming in with all that curly hair and stuff. Them curls gonna look different when the Knicks get finished whipping on you. Don't come in here thinking you gonna come in here and all. You see, the Knicks, all that pretty boy stuff. And I'm telling you, I love this New York team. I love this New York Knicks team. But this has got to be the ugliest New York Knicks team I ever seen. And that's what's going to win. They don't care how they look. You see Julius Randle? Julius Randle looked like the bully from Class Act. Look at Nerlens Noel. Look at Reggie Bullock's hair. His hair looked like a hand. And that's the teams that's going to win. We ain't worried about looking all cute and all this stuff. We ain't worried about that. Emmanuel quickly looked like his little sister braided his hair. And this is winning basketball. This is a recipe for winning basketball. All these pretty boys. You see our Coach Tom Thibodeau. That man looked like a preacher over there. He about 300 pounds, overweight. See, that's why we couldn't win with Pat Riley. Pat Riley was too slick, had all his hair nice and combed up. Thibodeau ain't worried about that. Thibodeau, he eats Big Macs at halftime. That's what they said. They said he eats Big Macs at halftime. Yeah, Reggie Bullock, and that boy Reggie Bullock can shoot. He can shoot. And I'm telling you, this Knicks team is going to shock the world. We already shocked the world. Y'all already utterly surprised. How the Knicks, number 4, how did the Knicks get here? With prayer. I told y'all, and some of y'all that was there, y'all New York Fellowship singers, you was there when I anointed Madison Square Garden. I went on the floor. We was with Mark Anthony Henry. We had to sing on Martin Luther King Day, and I anointed the floor. And I said, in 3 years, God gonna turn this thing around. And God did it. He did it. And I know a lot of folks say, well, James Dolan is doing exactly what we need him to do. Stay out the way. I don't need, James Dolan don't even come to the games no more. I want him to stay somewhere else. Duracell, I got to get you this shirt, man. Let me know. And if you gotta pick one last basketball player, you on the court. Let's say you over there at George Gershwin basketball court, and it's 2 players left. You got to pick one. One of them is a pretty boy, and the other one is ugly as everything else. You better pick that ugly one because he gonna get on there and ball. These pretty boys want to be cute. You can't be cute and play basketball. I don't want the pretty boy. Give me that. Give me Nerlens Noel. You can keep Trae Young. Give me Reggie Bullock. Give me and same thing. Kevin Durant. He ain't worried about the man can play basketball, but he ain't gonna comb his hair. Kevin Durant can play basketball, but he ain't worried about what he looked like. And I'm excited about my Knicks. This playing. Y'all Laker fans, y'all come here. Y'all give me them Laker fans. Y'all come right over here. Because the Lakers, they done messed around and got the 7th seed, and they got to play the Warriors Wednesday night. It's a win or go home situation. And if there's anybody that I don't want to go against in one game, it's Stephen Curry. Steph Curry. I don't care what you say about him. You ain't got to like him. But Steph Curry is the greatest shooter of all time. I've seen him triple teamed and still shooting and making it. And he's not throwing up lucky shots. He's shooting on purpose. Steph Curry is anointed. Steph Curry got the Holy Ghost. I ain't never seen nobody shoot like this. And the Lakers have to play them in a win or go home. If the Lakers lose, and they will lose, they now have to play the winner of the Spurs and the Grizzlies. And LeBron James, you're getting old. He's getting old. He's not what he used to be. And Steph Curry is the most dangerous light-skinned man on the planet. He got a baby face, but he's a killer. Steph Curry can score 50 points in a wink of an eye. And Wednesday night, Steph Curry going to show the world something. I didn't think Golden State had a chance to be here because they ain't got Klay Thompson. Draymond Green played like he got a book bag on his back. But Steph Curry, I'm telling y'all now, y'all better watch out for them Warriors. They are dangerous. So, Brooklyn and everybody, well, the Knicks got the number 4 seed, but the Brooklyn Nets got the number 2 seed. That's dope. That's amazing. But we were expecting the Brooklyn Nets to get the number 1 seed. The Brooklyn Nets actually underachieved. They were supposed to be. You got Kyrie, Kevin Durant, Blake Griffin, James Harden, DeAndre Jordan, and you had LaMarcus Aldridge until his heart started hurting, and you got all these other Joe Harris. The Nets were supposed to do this. But the Knicks, nobody expected this from the Knicks. We expected this from the Nets. And I told them on the show a little while ago, the most dangerous person is somebody that don't have nothing to lose. That's why when you get into a fight in the streets and you fighting, don't be wasting your time arguing and fighting with folks that ain't got nothing to lose. Because if they don't have nothing to lose, they go all out. They go all out. They don't care. And the Knicks, we playing with house money. We don't have nothing to lose because we ain't even supposed to be here. This is supposed to be a rebuilding year for the Knicks. We ain't even supposed to be here, and we here. The loudest person at your party is the one that just barely got in. We ain't supposed to be here, but we here. And watch. Now, the playoffs is starting. The playing game is going to be on Tuesday and Wednesday. And I really love this playing game because it kind of makes you have to play. You have to ball. You have to ball. It's win or go home like college. And the Celtics, and I know I got some Celtic fans, they got to play the Washington Wizards. And the Washington Wizards have a man by the name of Russell Westbrook. We got to stop playing games with this Russell Westbrook. Stop playing games with this dude. He is a top 10 player all time. I don't want to hear nobody's mouth because Oscar Robertson is a great. And the reason we remember Oscar Robertson right now, he was the only player in NBA history to average a triple-double 1 year. He did it one time. Oscar Robertson is known in the basketball world because he averaged a triple-double once. Russell Westbrook has averaged a triple-double for the fourth time. There's no way you can say Russell Westbrook is not top 10 all time. LeBron never averaged a triple-double. Magic never averaged a triple-double. Kobe never averaged a triple-double. MJ never averaged a triple-double. And Russell Westbrook, Oscar Robertson did it once, and he's top 10. Russell Westbrook has done it 4 times, and he ain't done. He ain't done. He still got a couple of years to play. Russell Westbrook, definitely first ballot Hall of Famer, definitely top 10. And, you know, if we're going to count rings, we can't just sit here and count rings. It got to be about more than rings. Because if it's about rings, then what's my man? Robert Horry would be in the Hall of Fame because he got a lot of rings. All right. Shout out to these Hall of Famers. Kevin Garnett is in the Hall of Fame now. And KG was one of the best. He was one of the best. No, I'm not giving Russell Westbrook top 25. Russell Westbrook is top 10. He averaged a triple-double 4 times. And I want to salute, a huge salute to Tim Duncan. Tim Duncan is in the Hall of Fame. Tim Duncan gets overlooked. One of the best power forwards. I think Tim Duncan might be top 10. He got 5 rings. League MVP, Defensive Player of the Year, 15-time All-Star. I don't know. Tim Duncan might be the best power forward of all time. I have to put him above Karl Malone. Tim Duncan. And finally, Kobe Bryant. And I watched this thing. I watched Miss Vanessa. I'm gonna call her Miss Vanessa. That woman has so much class. And Michael Jordan did a wonderful job. Michael Jordan is a class act. And Kobe Bryant is now in the Hall of Fame. And his wife spoke so eloquently about him. And you don't know how hard it is to get up there and talk about a loved one that's no longer here. And Vanessa Bryant, you are amazing. You got up there, you was poised, you talked well about your husband. You had on Laker purple. You represented the first ladies of basketball wonderfully. That's a strong woman. Don't think that she just lost her husband, but she lost her daughter too. And she got up there with strength and courage. and gave a wonderful speech on behalf of her husband. And Michael Jordan, I salute you. You stood right by her side. Michael Jordan is a class act. And you know, they got a show called Basketball Wives, which is the most raggediest thing I ever seen. Vanessa Bryant, you are a true basketball first lady. And we salute you on Church Guys Like Sports. Rest in peace, Kobe Bryant. Welcome to the Hall of Fame. Now, enough of all of that. Let me deal with this man, Bill Russell. I know I'm going to get a lot of hate. That's all right. I got my hateration shades on today. Let me deal with Bill Russell. Now, Bill Russell, all-time great. I believe he has 11 championships. Great. And not just what he did on the court as a player, as a coach, as a player coach with the Celtics, and how he did all what he did, how he shut down Wilt Chamberlain numerous times, but off the court. I want to talk about the Bill Russell off the court. I ain't going to leave him alone. I got to get him. Bill Russell walked and marched with Martin Luther King Jr. Bill Russell stood in the courtroom with Muhammad Ali when he got locked up for not wanting to go to the Vietnams. Bill Russell stood with all of the civil rights leaders. He stood with all of the civil rights leaders. He was right there. He didn't shut up. He didn't close his mouth. He was on the front line of the civil rights in the 50s, 60s, and 70s. But unbeknownst to me, this is news to me. And I found out Hall of Fame night that Bill Russell is now on his third white wife. He is now on his third white wife. And I don't care, you know, I don't want to hear nothing nobody got to say. You can't be talking about you on the front lines of civil rights. On the front line with Jesse Jackson, Martin Luther King Jr., and all these folks, and you got a white wife? Not just one white wife. Got rid of that one and went and got another white wife. Then got rid of that one and got a third white wife. And nobody gonna say nothing. Listen, Church Guys Like Sports gonna say something. Bill Russell, something don't add up with that. Oh no, we're gonna talk about the Knicks. We're gonna talk about the Knicks and all that stuff, but we're gonna talk about Bill Russell, these white wives. Because we got on Tiger Woods about his white wives. We get on these other folks, and nobody want to say nothing. Oh, Bill Russell is basketball royalty. And he is. Oh, Bill Russell does stuff off the court. And he does. But how in the world can you stand up for black civil rights, stand up for your people, but somebody that you're connected to, you are connected to a white, you got a white wife, not one, not two, but this is the third one. That is a slap in the face. And I heard somebody, a friend of mine, say, well, that's just his preference. Okay, let's go with that. How is your preference? You prefer, you fighting for the black rights, but you prefer a white woman over a black woman. Listen to me. Ain't nothing better than a black woman. If God made something better than a black woman, he kept it for himself. You cannot fight for our people, black civil rights and all this stuff, and then you have a white wife. Not one, not two, but three. Can you imagine how we would look at Barack Obama if Michelle Obama was white? Can you imagine how we would look at Martin Luther King Jr. if Coretta Scott King, if Martin Luther King's wife was white? How would we look at Malcolm X if his wife was white? But nobody wants to say nothing about this. Nobody want to talk about this. Oh, he has a preference. You prefer what is it about black women that you prefer a white woman over a black woman? What is it, Bill? You, Bill Russell, what is it? And I understand that they say Martin Luther King had white mistresses. All right, his side stuff was white, but who he went home to, who he raised his kids with, who he had pillow talk with was a sister. And I don't know. That's allegedly. I don't know. That's allegedly. We got to open up our eyes on this thing. How in the world? And this stuff been going on. This stuff been going on a long time. Bill Russell. And you know how we are with a lot of our football athletes end up with white women. I know my view's gonna go down, but this church guys like sports. Welcome. I say what I want to say on here. And if you don't like it, keep scrolling. But I got to tell the truth, because they can't talk about this on ESPN, because we in a new era now. Now, all these white wives, and he had white wives back in the 70s, in the 60s, white wives. Look, I'll show you. Look here. It's Bill Russell. You see that? White woman. Just a smiling. But you going to march with us. And I understand, with this new Black Lives Matter movement, there's more white folks out there marching now than it is black folks. I understand. But let me be real with you as I can. White people will never truly understand the struggles that black folks deal with. I don't care. I got white friends. I got white people that I'm cool with. But they will never understand the true struggles of a black man or a black woman. And you knowing that, Bill Russell, you gonna marry one. Not one, two, not two, but three. You couldn't find, I believe his first wife might have been black, but the other three after her, he's now on his fourth wife, and three of them have been white. There is something wrong with that. Yes, Ted, you said it. They want the swagger, but not the struggle. And yeah, I appreciate y'all marching with us. I appreciate you going across the Brooklyn Bridge with us. And I did the thing for George Floyd. And I looked in that audience. I'm singing "No Justice, No Peace." I'm singing "Stop the Violence." And I'm seeing all white people. I appreciate that. But you will never understand the true struggle of a black man or black woman. You will never understand what it's like to be pulled over and be in fear of your life. You'll never understand the fact that you have a 14-year-old son or 15-year-old son that you got to explain how to talk to police to. You got to tell your son he can't talk to the police any kind of way because he could end his life. White folk don't have to deal with that. And Bill Russell, I want to understand, how can you be on the front lines with Martin Luther King, with Jesse Jackson, with Malcolm X, with Muhammad Ali, and you got a white wife? All right. We're going to leave that alone. But I had to deal with it. I told you I was going to deal with it. All right. Thank y'all for tuning in for Church Guys Like Sports. Listen, the Knicks are in the playoffs. I'm not letting off on that. When I come back Wednesday, it's going to be even better because by Wednesday, we going to know. Because the Charlotte Hornets is playing the Pacers and the Celtics is playing the Wizards. And I'm telling y'all, watch out for Russell Westbrook and the Wizards. Watch out for it. All right? Thank you for joining us for Church Guys Like Sports 2. We are here every Monday, every Wednesday, and every Friday at 12 noon. And listen, if you want to put something in the Cash App, the Cash App is right down there. $. And I know some of y'all at work, so you know you got different people at your job, and you can't really say what you want to say. You gotta when I start talking that white talk, you had to turn your phone down. You had to turn it down a little bit because you didn't want everybody can't know what's going on. I understand, but you got to be who you. I got to be who I is. All right, I got to tell the truth, and the Hornets will beat the Pacers. The Hornets will beat the Pacers. I like the Hornets. I like what that boy LaMelo Ball is doing, but he's another pretty light-skinned boy. And when they run into the Knicks, it's going to be a problem. Shout out to the New York Knicks. We going places.
New York got the bright.
Remember, you can love God and love sports. Loving God doesn't take the man or woman out of you. Peace.
1973 was the last year. We brought a championship ring here.